everyone. Thank you for taking a moment to have a look at this short video. My name's Maree Davidson, and I am one of the team of assessors at the Highwire Group, one of your many choices of external assessors for your upcoming Australian Service Excellence Standards accreditation. If I've met you before, hello again. And if you're someone that I'm meeting for the first time, I'd like to say that I'm very, very happy to have been asked to do this, and I'm getting to meet you even virtually, even on a recording. And I want to thank you for your attendance at the Specialist Homelessness Sector, what are you calling it? Your sector network meeting, organised by the lovely people at the Industry Partnership. And my opportunity today is to talk to you about the evidence that we are looking for under the Healthy Workplace Standard, which is new and improved. We've always been looking for a healthy workplace, but now we're looking for a bit more of a system approach to your provision of a healthy workplace for the people that you're looking after. So let's have a look at the sorts of things that might be most helpful for you to think about as evidence that you have a wonderful system in place for providing a healthy workplace. All right, let's crack on. Let's crack on. I'm going to be talking for about 10 minutes. That's my plan. That's my plan. What is this new standard? Here you go. Here you go. We've got it. It's for us, it's a C.4.2.6. The requirements around providing a healthy workplace sit within standard 4.2. The Healthy Workplace Standard, which also includes some indicators around infection control. So we're looking for all the ways that you look after infection control, but we're now having a bit more of a focus on the evidence that you could show us about your provision of a healthy workplace. So your commitment to providing a healthy workplace that protects and promotes the staff health and wellbeing. Staff health and wellbeing. So it's a physically healthy workplace, but it's also a psychologically healthy workplace, a mentally healthy workplace. Yeah. So there are 5 elements to your system that we're looking for. That there be a leadership commitment, that there be documented policies and procedures, that there be promotion of health and wellbeing programs and activities, sorts of things that you do to promote health. That your physical environment is one that promotes the health of the people who come into it, and that monitoring evaluation is undertaken, and that your improvement opportunities are data driven. So there's an evidence base that you're looking for. You're sort of taking note of the results that you have in front of you about whether or not yours is a healthy workplace. And when I'm coming out to assess you, and the Highwire approach is very much around having a look at systems, because it's systems that actually run the organisation, isn't it? And it's the people who run the systems. So, we see that getting the system right is the most important thing, particularly when it's something that's got many moving parts. It's really good to have a system around it rather than just one document or, one person who makes it happen. So for us, this is what a system around a healthy workplace would look like. For us, you would have everything that you do around providing a healthy workplace documented. You would have everything that happens around providing a healthy workplace delegated to someone who can do it and knows it's their job. And everything around a healthy workplace would be communicated in a way that people can know and understand. Everything that's documented around a healthy workplace should be implemented in practice. So we're really looking for your documentation and your practice to be in alignment. These 2 things can get out of step very easily. So keep an eye on what's documented and what's happening, making sure it's documented. And very importantly around a system for a healthy workplace is that you would be routinely evaluating how you're going. How are you going with this healthy workplace? Is it as healthy as you'd like it to be? Is there data that tells you, oh, actually, not as healthy as we'd like it to be? Maybe you've got data about sick leave. Maybe you've got data about absenteeism. Maybe you've got data about incidents, accidents, near misses, all those sorts of things. So I encourage you to have a good look at your systems, all your systems, but in this case, your system for supporting a healthy workplace. I've got that little dice there because the way that I remember the elements of a well-functioning system is because systems are diced. D-I-C-E-D. See that? Yeah, you can see that. So that's what we're looking for. That's what you should be looking for. Let's break it down. Let's break it down into each of those parts of the indicator. So, providing a healthy workplace, what are we looking for? Under leadership commitment. We are looking for the champions to be, at the top of the organisation. We are looking for there to be projects that are led by people who have that leadership capability to be able to inspire people and bring them along. We're looking for decisions to be made at the leadership level around supporting the system or supporting the activities. So, we're looking for well-being being on the agenda. Some organisations want to promote that they have a healthy workplace, and they'll have a Why Work For Us section on their website. And this can really tell people about the sorts of things that they're doing to provide a healthy workplace. So it's a really great way to put it out there, is to let people know that you are working towards providing a very healthy workplace for people. All right, so we're looking for the leaders to be able to tell us about what they're doing around a healthy workplace. The next element to this indicator is the policies and procedures. We want to have things documented around your intent. So the ways that you want people to work, the guidance that you're providing people for supporting a healthy workplace will be written down. So here's a really great list of the kinds of policies and procedures that you might want to document, or pull them together, collate them, consolidate them into your health and wellbeing policy and procedure, or at least provide links across to other policies and procedures in your workplace. If you have got a health and wellbeing policy, that would be great. And if you link it with some of these other things that you're doing to create a healthy workplace, that would be fantastic. All right, but at a minimum, I would like to see a health and wellbeing policy, and I would like it to talk about physical health as well as mental health. People are working from home more and more, and so having a working from home policy that supports the health and wellbeing of people working in the home would be also a very important element. All right, not to mention things like all your COVID sorts of safety planning. People do a pretty good job around documenting all of this, I have to say. Yeah, we generally see some really good exemplars. Health and wellbeing programs, activities and supports, there's the obvious, there's things like the EAP. But what we're looking for here, for you to get through, to get a fully in place rating for this one, is to have something that's actually part of your schedule. It's not ad hoc. It doesn't just happen because someone said, oh, let's do 1,000 steps challenge in June or something like that, or let's do something for what's one I was just thinking about, Dry July. That's the one I was trying to think of. All right, so it happens because it is planned. It happens because it's part of a calendar. It happens because there's some structure around it to ensure that it happens, and there's a budget for it. All right, so we're going to have awareness raising days. We're going to have the leaders' support for people to take their breaks, workload management. We're going to have workshops and training programs around a healthy workplace and looking after ourselves at work. Lots and lots of self-care activities. There was an organisation that I worked with that I thought was exemplary in the way that they provided a budget. They provided some money for people to take each month. This was an organisation that's working with domestic and family violence, and they recognised the impact of vicarious trauma, and they wanted staff to be able to have an allowance. So they put the money aside, and they made that money available for the staff every month to be able to do something for themselves. Right, so that's just really an exemplary idea. Find out about free services that are available. Find out about some online things that people can do. Make health and well-being part of the supervision structure. All those things. The sorts of things that you might consider doing are running a resilience program, having this as part of something that you do periodically throughout the year and help people to measure, their resilience skill set. This is just one that Highwire works with that's called Working with Resilience, the Resilience at Work Toolkit. So, I'm just suggesting that it might be helpful for the staff to see how their resilience is improving over time. Because we have to endure, don't we? We have to have the endurance to get through the sorts of things, because they last a long time, and they're everyday things in many of your environments. It's not sort of something happened, let's debrief and get over it. It's actually, it's part of your ways of working. So resilience is a skill set that can be developed over time, which should set people up well for being able to manage all of that a little bit better. Things that we've seen in the workplaces, such as people bringing their pets to work or having pictures of their pets on the wall. These are the kinds of things that you might do in the physical environment. The kinds of programs you might have that, oh, look, every second Friday is Bring Your Pet to Work Day or something like that. Pets are very therapeutic for lots of people. Having that "Are you okay" conversations. Teaching people how to have the "Are you okay" conversations. Making that part of the culture of communication in your workplace. Not just on "Are you okay" day either. Getting out and going for a walk as a team. Deciding that you're going to have your meetings outside. Now, I live in Port Macquarie. I'm very lucky. I'm here on beautiful Biripi country. And where I go and get my coffee is out in a national park area. There's a cafe there. And lots and lots of teams come and have their meetings there. They sit outside and they have a coffee, and I don't know, I would assume they're generally, enjoying their time together a bit more. Certainly enjoying nature a little bit more often. So going for a walk, getting outside, thinking about places that might help you, be a bit more mindful, or something that's a little bit different, a little bit stimulating. Sorts of things that organisations can do is promote health and awareness. If you have a public-facing organisation, if you have an office or you have an area where people come, then you can show people about the ways that you're promoting a healthy workplace. The sorts of things that will make a difference. These programs be shared with clients, those sorts of things. Here's a photo of a team that's getting out and about. I joined this team. It was a lovely day. We were doing some crochet and, talking about things, wicked worries, having a gripe, having a bit of a yarn with some yarn. There you go. Having a yarn with some yarn, but doing activities, that promote mindfulness and creativity. I went recently to do an assessment at an organisation, and they ordered this really healthy lunch. Something that says, I don't know, I really think that, sushi and things like that are great brain food. So they ordered a really healthy lunch instead of, other obligatory sorts of lunches that I've had at some other places. So this is really just, I don't know, putting on display the sort of commitment that you have to health when you make healthy catering choices and, you stick to it. So the physical environment, wherever that is, whether that's an environment where people are working from home or the office, that effort is made for a healthy physical workplace. Now, that means different things to different people, and a healthy workplace is a subjective thing. It's something people feel, isn't it? So everybody will be different about the space that they want to create. So I think giving people choice and letting them choose their own chair, letting them choose a sort of desk. I mean, this is silly, isn't it? I found this picture. I thought you'd have a laugh when you saw this picture because that's really taking it to the extreme. But you get my drift, right? You get my drift. You've got a stand-up desk. You might have things that help people to be relaxed and comfortable and have the resources that they need around them. I like sunlight. That's my thing. So I like a window. This is a place I visited recently where they had a gym in their workplace, and though it was predominantly for clients, it was somewhere where the staff could also go. The staff were welcome to use it, so that was really nice. And the staff said that they enjoyed to use it at lunchtime. And of course, this place also had a shower. So if you're going to be using the gym at lunchtime, that's something you need. This place I went to had an outdoor area. They had some opportunities for the staff to grow some tomatoes and generally tend to things at lunchtime if they wanted to. But a nice space outdoor that's under cover, that's sort of a bit climate controlled, is it's an advantage where people can come together and eat. The last little element here, the data and evaluation, the measuring and monitoring of how you're going. I would say to organisations, how do you know you're providing a healthy workplace? Now, what would they answer? How would they know? What are they measuring? So having some metrics, having some tools to be able to measure, setting some benchmarks of good practice, maybe looking at other organisations that are doing particularly well and seeing if there's any practice that you could bring back to your own. Feedback and surveys. So if you are doing a staff survey, then asking them some questions about for them, what is a healthy workplace for them, and how do you think the organisation is doing? Having some audits. There are great audit tools that you can use. Some reports back to the team about how you're going and what sort of plans you have in place to improve. So we do see lots of surveys, staff surveys. We often don't see the question about, is this a physically and mentally healthy workplace for you? And we often don't see surveys turn into action plans. So those are some areas to focus on with your evidence gathering. So I want to say that, think about yourself in your own workplace. If you're a leader in your workplace, think about the influence you have to make things better. Think about listening to the team about what would make things better for them. Yeah. And start off small. Start off small. Have a few things going on and measure them, and then build from there. That's really my best tip. All right, but look for the evidence that tells you whether you have a healthy workplace or not. And that is it from me. I would love to see you and your healthy workplace. Invite me in, invite us to come along and do your assessment, or invite us to come along and support you with resilience, or invite us to come along and do an audit on your healthy workplace to give you back some ideas for improvement. There's lots of ways that you can talk to us about that, something we're really passionate about. So I'm thrilled that Lauren and the team invited me to do this for you, and I'll be thrilled to see you at some time. Stay well.